watching KCAL9 News at noon.
Well, Facebook may be foreign to some parents, but chances are good their children are using it right now. Here to answer some of the big questions parents have about Facebook is Linda Fogg-Phillips.
Yeah, she's the author of this new book. It's called Facebook for Parents. Linda, welcome to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. You know, I think the first thing that parents need to know is that there is a age restriction. You have to be 13 years old, and some parents don't know that, probably because their kids don't want them to know that.
That's true, but there are a lot of ways that kids still get on under the age of 13, and this is why it's so important for parents to be on Facebook and be aware of what that environment is and know what their kids are getting into and guide and direct them and coach them that once they're 13, then it's okay, but before then, it's just not.
Yeah, because Facebook will delete you if they find out
they
you're
will.
under 13.
And there's a great reporting system on Facebook that anybody can report, and Facebook does take action on that.
And there's a real reason for that. We talk a lot about bullying, and especially that can happen at the younger ages too.
Bullying is a bigger problem on Facebook than predators are, and oftentimes as parents we don't realize that that really is the underlying problem. In fact, next week I'm speaking in Denver to a private school that has had issues with bullying on Facebook, and that's something that they need to address, and I'm coming in to talk to the parents and teach the students how to avoid that and teach the parents how to recognize that and what steps they need to take to prevent that, and once they see that happening, how they need to take quick action.
I have friends whose kids are on Facebook, but the first thing they insisted was, you have to friend me. Mom and Dad have to see what you're doing on there. Good idea?
Absolutely. I encourage that. In fact, at my house, as you know, I have 8 children.
Yes.
And all of my kids are on Facebook, but the rule is if my kids want to eat, they have to friend me. And my kids do like to eat, so they are my friend. And sometimes they don't like me, but that doesn't matter. They still have to be my friend on Facebook. And that's the role of a parent, is to be a parent and guide and direct them.
And that's so important because you want to be able to see their wall, and sometimes kids can get obsessed with this.
They can. And you know, the number one reason that kids don't want to friend their parents is because they're afraid that their parents are going to embarrass them. It's because we don't know the culture. This is not the environment that we grew up in. It's new and it's foreign to us. So we've got to prove ourselves. The class that I taught at Stanford through the Persuasive Technology Lab, we found exactly that out. It was a surprise to us that once parents got on Facebook, became familiar with it, knew the culture, learned the language, and proved to their kids that they could be responsible on Facebook, then the kids were much more willing to friend them.
What are some of the warning signs that you see that children might be being bullied, and how do you sort of control that and get your kids to open up and talk to you about what's going on?
Well, Facebook does not replace a face-to-face dialogue as a parent with your child. Facebook allows you to be more aware of what's going on in your child's life. And this way, if you are your child's friend on Facebook, sometimes you can see some warning signs. Kids will write on their wall their feelings more than they will verbalize it. They haven't developed the skills yet in their verbal ability to communicate. But they're very comfortable writing on the wall their status updates. And if a parent is keyed in and can see some trends in that, then sometimes they can pick up on whether or not they're being bullied, whether or not they're having a hard time in school. A good case in point is I lost my 20-year-old son a few years ago. And it was a tragic experience for my whole family. But I can see how my kids are dealing with it by what they write on their wall, when sometimes they won't verbalize to me that maybe I need to talk them through a few things that they're feeling or some emotions, but yet on their wall they'll post, "I'm missing Garrett today." And to me, that's another insight as a parent to know what's really going on in their heads and how to be a better parent and how to be more effective.
And this book is all about tips, and one of the things you say is you need to help them establish a friending policy. And what does that mean?
And this needs to be, adults need to establish a friending policy as well. The policy basically states that there are certain people that you'll friend and certain people that you don't friend. As you know, if you're on Facebook, you get friends requests from, friends of yours maybe 20, 30 years ago, high school friends, college friends, people that you may not even know. Now with my children, my younger children, I tell them, okay, you can friend people that we both commonly know, family members, kids that go to school, perhaps their parents if that's something that they're comfortable with. But anybody that I don't personally know, I don't let my younger children friend. Now as my children get older and more adept in the online world and with Facebook, like my 18-year-old and my 20-year-old, I don't direct them as far as who they should friend, but I hope by then they've realized that there are some friends that are safe and some friends that they just really shouldn't friend.
Some kids are really obsessed with it. They're on there all the time. Some adults too.
They are.
How do we deal with that?
That's called Facebook addiction. And that is a problem. Now, you have to evaluate, is it controlling your life? And if it is, then it's something that needs to be addressed. And a parent needs to address that with a child. Perhaps set specific time periods that they can be on Facebook, time periods that they shouldn't. This is also where, as a parent, if you're your child's friend and you see your child's posted a status update at 12:30 in the morning, There's a problem,
yeah.
and that needs to be addressed within the home.
One thing that, I was talking to somebody about over the holidays is you have to be very careful what you post, especially if you are applying for a job, if one of your kids is going in there. How important is it to clean up your wall and to look at what you're posting?
It's very important. What we don't realize, and oftentimes what our kids try to tell us, is it's a private space. It's their private space. Facebook is not a private space. It is like a front lawn. It's something that's very visible. We can do searches on anybody and see what comes up, and if the pages are not privatized, which I teach in my classes as well, is how to privatize your page, how to determine what the public should see and what they shouldn't see, because by default, it's pretty open.
Parents have to be aware. Linda,
they do.
Thank you so much. Facebook for Parents, answers to the top 25 questions available online. Just go to KCAL9.com, click Seen on TV. Linda Fogg-Phillips, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.